Hey, what's going on, guys? So today in this video I'm going to talk about charge characters and how to effectively charge, and the bad ways on charging. Charge characters are hindered because they have to actually charge their moves up either by walking back or crouching and stuff like that, and it's a little bit of a hindrance compared to other characters that don't have to charge to get their special moves out. Right now, there is a good way and a bad way to charge. Charging like this, like constantly just walking backwards and charging, that's kind of bad. You don't want to charge like this. People have a bad habit of doing this to try to space out that dash punch, especially if you're playing Balrog, because most charge moves are around -4, -5 or whatever. They're generally not safe moves, so you have to space them out, right? And doing that, people tend to just walk back until they get to that that spot and then charge, right? Well, you don't want to always do that, just walking straight back. That's actually a bad way to charge, because in Street Fighter V, screen position is very, 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 very important. It could be one of the most important things in a game, as far as how successful you're going to be in the match, depending on where you are on the screen and your screen control, right? And that's one thing I love about the grid, is that this red line in the middle right here, it gives you a direct indicator of who has the screen control, right? So whoever has their back to this line right here, is usually in control of the screen space, right? And having control of the screen is very important, because it determines how much real estate you have, and that goes into a whole bunch of layers, and as far as defense, offense, and what have you, right? But I'm not gonna get into screen control. That's a thing for another video. But having a screen control is very important. I'll just say that. And with charge characters, you can't, it's a little bit of a hindrance, because you have to actually go back and charge, right? And charging like this, you can easily find yourself at the screen disadvantage, right? Now, if I play against a good person, he knows it can take all the space I'm giving. You don't want to give up too much space, because the Ryu can take all that space, and before you know it, he has a screen advantage, right? So how you want to charge is depending on, it really depends on who you're playing. If your opponent is not keeping you honest with pokes, you definitely want to walk forward and charge. Walk forward crouch is the best way to charge. Always start your charge with a walk forward, gain space, and crouch. And maybe if you want to give your opponent a little bit of space to, let's say, leave a little bit of an opening there for them to whiff something, or draw them in and walk back for a whiff or something like that. You always want to start with a walk forward first, because let's say you're starting your charge here, you want to walk forward first, and if you give you the option, give you a little leeway to go back, and now you already have your charge. All right, so let's say I want to charge here, I go to that spot, walk back, and now I have my charge, right? Let's say I want to charge right here, right? Let's say right here where I'm standing, I want to get a charge, right? So I walk forward first, and just scope out the scene, see what Ryu's gonna do, and now I have the option to go back to where I started, and now I already have my charge, instead of doing something like this and then having a charge, right? You want to gain as much space as possible, right? You don't want to just always just start a charge, right where you are, and do this to charge, right? Or walk forward and do this, walk forward, do this. You pretty much just gave away all your space, right? Or you don't want to do that. You always want to, try to crouch charge as much as possible, right? Because like I said, the screen, screen position is very important in this game. So whenever you see the opportunity, trying to gain space and walk forward before you charge, that's the most efficient way to charge, is to, you know, right? Try to get as much charge from crouching as you can before you walk back. Because if you do this, if you start your charge from a walk forward crouch, right, you have your charge right there. Instead of having a charge from back here, you instead have it from right there, right? So let's say, how long does it take for me to, you know, charge? Let's say I'm right here. I have to roughly go about 2 boxes to charge. You know, it's not gonna work. So I'm in this box right here. Doesn't work. So I have to roughly go back 2 boxes to charge, right? So I'm right here in front of Ryu. Look at the box I'm in. Look at the ground. It roughly takes me about 2 boxes to charge, right? So instead of just going straight back, you want to maybe go forward a box, get a little bit of charge, and look at that. I got my charge, and I didn't have to walk back, you know, in like a box. I had to, you know, I could maybe go half a box, charge a little bit, bam, right? Got my charge right there. So let's say I'm in this box right here. I go forward half a box, charge a little bit, bam, right? Like if you get poked and your opponent is not like keeping you honest, always try to walk forward before you charge. See that? Right? And also get in the habit of hiding your charge with buttons, like, right? 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 I'm not giving up space. You see how I'm charging, but I'm not giving up space? You don't want to get into the habit of constantly doing this or constantly doing this. You know, always try to right? Because look how close I am and I have charge. You get a lot more options that way. Right? This is the bad way to charge. Don't be doing this. Right? Always, you know, try to stay close to your opponent. Right? Right? And then before you know it, you like, let's say you charging and you have the screen advantage almost all the time. Push him back a little bit, poke in front of him, give him something to think about. Right? Now I know those are all unsafe, like, dash punches, but I'm just like trying to just get the charge, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just playing like this, you know. You see I'm not gaining any space, right? Look at how much space I'm giving by charging like that. Don't just, you know, just charge like that. You always want to walk forward and charge as much as you can, right? So I hope that helped a little bit. I'm gonna show a match of me effectively charging. Okay, this is a match I had with a Ryu player recently, and I feel like this match gives a really good example of how you should be effectively charging. Okay, you see, you know, already, you know, I'm walking forward. I'm trying to inch forward as much as I can before charging. And I want you to take a note of how much screen control I have. Notice that the Ryu player is almost always close to the corner. Notice that I'm not walking back, you know, to charge, you know, that often, right? Look, I'm always trying to walk forward before I charge, right? And what that does is it always gives you, you know, control of the screen, and you're not surrendering space while trying to charge, right? Look at him, I'm just bullying him to the corner. He spends his whole round in the corner. Got the whiff punish right there. Now he goes in a little bit of a comeback here because he's getting me with the overheads. But because I always have control of the screen, you know, he can't really do much. Still has control of the screen. I thought that was going to be a fireball, but it still worked out for me.
Round 2. Fight.
So I take a big chance right there. Now I have control of the space, control of the screen. Notice that I'm not trying to surrender space. See, I walk back a little bit, but then I try to get right back into space. See, I'm inching forward before trying to charge. I didn't give up too much space right there. See, inching him back. Another round where he's almost always in the corner. And I got the shimmy for the win. So I hope that little example helped you guys out. I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.